दोनों से ये सवाल है कि बजट में सर्विस टैक्स बढ़ा दिया गया जिससे टिकट रेट्स मूवी टिकट रेट्स जो हैं वो बढ़ जाएंगे. सो किस तरीके से आप लोग ये देख रहे हैं? एंड सेकेंडली फॉर कॉमन मैन देयर इज नथिंग, कुछ भी उनके लिए खास नहीं है इस बजट में.
Yeah, well, look, I can go. Firstly, the budget, I think Perchap is not finished, just about finished his speech, and then we want comments on the thought process. I think a budget is supposed to give a statement of growth and a statement of forward-looking aspects, a statement of the government's priority, and then you can't psychoanalyze everything else in between, because then you got to read the fine print after that. I think indirect taxes, if there is a levy on indirect taxes, he's actually talked about reducing corporate tax over the next 4 years down. So I think tax has got a pretty balanced view when you look at everything from that perspective. I don't think the media industry that gets distracted, because actually entertainment tax comes above service tax. So we already have a problem of double taxation with entertainment tax and service tax, which needs to be dealt with separately. So it's not going to be such a needle-moving element as far as that is concerned. But I think that may not be the most appropriate topic for today. So unless Ranbir has anything to add, I'll just ask him.
I shall just agree with him.
Ranbir, लेकिन
One second, next question.
Yeah, go ahead. You are asking the question.
Ronnie, first of all, let me congratulate you on your embarkation of the journey of sharing your dreams with entrepreneurs and inspiring them. There'll be a lot of entrepreneurs who probably will read your book and you will not even know about it, and they'll get inspired and do something entrepreneurship and be success in life. Are you also supporting any entrepreneur or a group of entrepreneurs in real life by doing something additional to them apart from the book?
Yeah, I think that's a good question, and I think it's in three parts really. Personally, one is invested in many companies which are all entrepreneur and at different stages of their growth, and I think that mentoring continues because that's a very day-to-day interactive process. I think my ability to go out and have some time to spend and talk with people in groups of 100, 200, and 400, I've been doing that on a much more regular basis across the country, and I aim to do that even more. And third, but the one that I'm most proud of, is actually through our Surveys Foundation, and I know we're working on multiple aspects there, but over the last 1 year, we have now literally created 10,000 entrepreneurs in our geography.
Wow.
We've set them up to form chilling plants for dairy, because within 9 kilometers radius of anyone who owns cows, you need to get the milk in 3.5 hours to a chilling plant, otherwise it goes bad, and therefore most people never even thought of that. We've got people who are collecting cashews from the entire geography and then repackaging it instead of selling it in bulk. We've got people at the sort of minority communities that we made into entrepreneurs and set up agarbatti plantations for them, packaging firms for them, and in poultry. So I think those 10,000 farmers and the 10,000 entrepreneurs that we've created has given me more joy in the last 1.5 years, and also been a sort of a trigger for the book to a smaller extent.
Hi, I have a question for Ranbir. We're speaking about entrepreneurship. At a time when Ronnie probably started out on his journey, the economic conditions of this country were very different. But today's youth is actually setting out on entrepreneurial ventures rather than working for someone else. So what's your take on, is the government really doing enough to foster entrepreneurship in this country? As a young generation representative, what's your view on that?
To be honest, I wouldn't have a fair answer to that, because I don't come from the world of entrepreneurship. But I think more than the government, as far as I know, I think Mr. Ronnie Screwvala is definitely doing something, through his book, through mentoring people. And I think that's what we really need is, to give them a little bit of, a hand, to give them a little bit of an advice, to give them a little bit of, show them the light, show them the way. I think that's what's important. I don't think there's anything wrong in starting a business or working for someone, as long as the intention is right, as long as, you have a dream, as long as you have a certain vision of life for yourself. Yeah, you want to add something to that?
I do want to add, if you take one of the most entrepreneurial countries in the world, which I think is America, outside of Israel, which I think is a very, very entrepreneurial country, but it's so small that everyone doesn't think so. No government went out there and did anything to help. Because actually, if you look at our IT sector here, that's the best example of entrepreneurship and how it's grown, because it was not regulated. People were allowed to work for and be extremely entrepreneurial. So I think a government's job is to enable, and a government's job, and I think that's the right demand that everyone's making, is to make ease of business in the country to happen, which I think we're moving in that direction. And, The problem is that if you go from 400 regulations to 100 regulations, it still looks like 99 more than what you like them to be. So till they get to 1 and 2 and 3 regulations, you'll always feel there's going to be not the ease of doing business. But I believe the government is to facilitate and mandate, not create entrepreneurs.
Sorry, I just had a follow-up question. Ranbir, any young entrepreneurs that you admire that you could...
I think Ronnie is really young. So he's someone who I've always admired. Apart from him, I have a couple of friends. I don't think you would know them. There's a gentleman called Ranbir Kapoor. He's somebody who I completely admire. But I think, to be honest, not because I'm sitting on this dais, releasing the cover of this book, but he's really a man who I've admired. Not just for his entrepreneurial geniusness, but also for the kind of human being he is. Also for the kind of energy that he is. I think he's been really inspirational to me and to a lot of people from the film industry. He's definitely one of the most liked person who is or who was from the film industry. He's somewhere, and I think the day he had, moved out from UTV and, Walt Disney came, and I think that was a sad day for a lot of people in the film industry. So he's definitely someone who I admire.
Thank you.
We're going to take our last two questions.
Hi, you have...
Hello.
1 second.
Yeah, it's okay.
इस साल बॉम्बे वेलवेट रिलीज हो जाए वही बड़ी बात होगी. I think वो एक सपना अनुराग का था, and I think that's what I'm looking forward to on 15th of May.
Ronnie?
Yeah.
Ronnie?
Yeah, somebody's got a
Ronnie?
mic. Yeah, somebody's got a
Ronnie?
mic.
Become producer,
Ronnie?
you're a great actor.
Sorry,
And
Someone just randomly saying Ronnie.
Ranbir, here.
1 second.
you have
The
become
lady's
a
got a mic, so ask the question, and then I think there was somebody else who was going to...
It was
Yeah.
me also. You have become a producer, you're a great actor, your career is growing well. So when do we see you getting married?
Wow, कहाँ से कहाँ producer से ये.
I thought you were going to ask us when you're becoming a full-fledged entrepreneur.
Yes, I would like to answer the first part of the question first. Being a producer was not something I had planned. Anurag, Basu, me had made a film called Barfi, and we really enjoyed working together. So we decided, to work on a film together, which was Jaga Jasoos. And also I must add that even though the Ronnie sir is not with, the Walt Disney Company, but I made sure that, there is something of him in, where we're doing our first venture together. I think that was important to us. We're not producing, we're not here just for the business aspect of movie making. We are producing it because we believe in this. We don't know if this film is going to do well or not, but I think the intentions towards making a film was correct. I think those were the reasons that we produced the film. Second part of your question is, when will I get married? I haven't decided. I think marriage is something which I've always maintained has to come organically and naturally. I'm not that kind of a person who says, okay, I'm 32 years of age, let's get married now, or, time's running out. I think I'm really happy in my life right now. And the day I want children, the day I feel me and my partner feel that, okay, this is an organic process, now we should, get married, I think that's the day I'll get married.
Ronnie? Ronnie, I am your...
Just 1 second, let's do one question. No, he's going to ask a question.
In
Sorry,
this
go ahead.
lovely audience, I am your witness. You have started your career with a small studio at Vithaldas Chamber, long back.
Yes.
Time he was Rohington, not Roy.
My dad and mom still call me Rohinton.
So, who is your inspired and what is your future program?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Who inspires you?
Who inspired
Well, I think I've been asked this before, and I have to say, and I mean that very, very not in any this thing, that I think today it's not about drawing single inspirations. And in my life, I have to be very blunt. I don't think any one particular person ever inspired me, but at various stages in the career, various situations and circumstances inspired me from time to time, and I think I've dealt with them in the book. My second innings, I have to say, is very different from my first innings. I'm doing a lot and committed to entrepreneurship. I'm committed to the rural and social through our foundation. And in some of the businesses, and a lot of people ask me from media, you're looking at education, you're looking at sports, you're looking at digital. Those are all varied aspects. So that's for a different day and a different discussion. I don't think that's the topic for today.
We'll be taking the last question.
हाय रणबीर यहाँ पे बहुत हैंडसम लगता है रणबीर चेहरे पे बहुत फ्रेशनेस फील आ रही है मुझे लगता है प्यार का एक असर है साथ ही साथ आपकी फिल्मों का असर है रणबीर
कब इम्प्रूव करोगे यार ये एक्चुअली ये जो मैंने चश्मे डाले इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि मेरे आंखों का नंबर कुछ बढ़ गया है क्योंकि मैं रात को इतनी ज़्यादा सोया नहीं हूँ, तो इसलिए मैं अपने डार्क सर्कल्स कवर करके ये चश्मे पहन रहा हूँ। मुझे पता है आपका सवाल कुछ और था, लेकिन मेरा जवाब कुछ और है। हाँ जी।
रणबीर अभी AIB आया था, रणबीर अभी AIB शो आया था, उसमें आपका रिएक्शन जानना चाहेंगे। रणबीर अभी AIB शो आया था, आपका रिएक्शन जानना चाहेंगे।
प्लीज यू अलाउ मी टू आस्क, देखिए आपने बोला कि आपने अभी तक डिसाइड नहीं किया आप शादी कब करेंगे, बट कटरीना कहीं ना कहीं कपूर सर ने यूज करी और उन्होंने व्हाट्सएप पे ग्रुप भी बनाया है और जिसमें आपकी फैमिली है।
Thank you so much. Book releases on 2nd April.
प्लीज जवाब दीजिए।
Buy the book when it releases.
प्लीज आंसर दिस एंड आप
Will you want a photo?
Yeah. Sure, we'll get out. Yeah.
We'd like to now have
Keep it. Yeah. Where are you doing? Where is it here? Thank you.